Hey guys, today on Real Hazardous, we're going to talk about tracking.
Tracks like these?
No, not that kind of tracking. Today we're talking about deer tracking.
Oh. Okay.
So last year we went deer hunting, and as we were hunting, I shot a deer, and we spent probably more time tracking this deer than we spent tracking like every other deer we've ever shot in our history of hunting combined. The deer comes out and whip up the gun, find my spot, pull the trigger, you see the deer kick and move off. I'm like, okay, it was a hit. And as I go up to it, I see, there's a good amount of blood on the ground. And so I start following the blood trail. One tip is when you're tracking for deer, you always keep that blood in sight. When you find one piece of blood, you don't leave that spot until you find the next piece, and you just slowly work your way down. If you shoot a deer, you want to harvest it, you don't want to waste that meat. So, good tip to try and stay with the blood. And so I was doing that, and I was following one piece after another, and it was taking a while. I'm like, man, this deer's got to be about bled out at this point. It's good dark blood, so it indicates there should have been a vital hit. Eventually, the rest of the crew shows up, so we kind of signal back there, and we're still seeing blood, and I've kind of got to this point where the blood started to taper off, and I'm not really seeing much anymore. Starting to have some flashbacks that maybe this deer fell into the same category as my brother's bulletproof buck several years ago when he shot it and it like bled everywhere, and then all of a sudden it was just gone, and the deer seems to have survived it somehow. And my brother and my dad's cousin show up, and we decide we're going to kind of grid the area to see if maybe there's a blood specks or blood trail somewhere that we just missed. I'm down in that bottom, probably along this trail. Through some miscommunication, we actually lost the blood trail. I went to follow one thing and thought someone was staying with the blood, and they thought someone else was staying with the blood, and so we were off the blood trail. But about that time, I hear some rustling, and I actually see the deer hop and bound off. So apparently the shot was a little off the mark, and the deer was still there. But we see the deer moving, and we kind of begin this track of the deer. We see where the blood was, and we start following it some more. As we're going through, we're finding all sorts of stuff. Found like 2 or 3 tree stands, and so as we're looking through, I'm like, okay, I'm finding a lot of nice spots I'm gonna come back to and hunt. But in the meantime, we're looking for this deer. And we actually come across the entire swamp bottom and come out to the road on the opposite side. Still part of the property, mind you. But we come out to the other road, and I look down, I see the deer down the road. And he's just kind of staring at me. So I try and whip up the gun and try and take a second shot. But I didn't have a clear shot. There were some twigs, and he bounded off, so we keep tracking. And every now and then, just like when we're about to the point of, okay, must have just nicked it, I don't know, he seems to have survived, we might just have to call it. We stumble across him again. It was crazy. But as we're going, all of a sudden I hear this sploosh, sound of like water crashing, something in the water. And I'm like, oh, great, my deer's gonna drown now. So as soon as I hear that, I just haul it. There's like this little steep hill, is like 4 feet off, I'm jumping in. It looks like I'm chasing down bad guys or something rather than hunting a deer, but I just like start sprinting toward the direction of the water. And so I get in there and I look down, and a little bit disappointed that now, we missed the deer. He's got away or he's drowned. Either way, that's meat we're not gonna have. And I look up, and on the other side of the bank, the deer is bedded up. Fire one more time, and this time it's a more effective hit. Go for the next shot, he dies and stays right there, no more tracking. Hunt over, track done.
How far we track this guy?
Too far.
A couple miles?
It feels like it. Where'd he cross over? Right here, I heard him hit the water.
You jumped up there?
I don't know where he jumped, I didn't see him, but I heard the splash and it was all stirred up right here. But the problem is, at this point, he was on the other side of the river. So we gotta get over there now, or more aptly, I've gotta get over there because the rest of the crew was not really interested in helping me get over there.
Then he has to drag his deer all the way back through that water, and it's a steep embankment. I mean, it looked tough. From where we were standing, it looked tough.
Jeremy filmed the whole thing while I was doing this. Yeah.
Never once did he ask for help either. Of course, never once did we offer, but, you know, he's a man. If he wanted help, if he truly needed help, he would ask for it. Give me your phone.
Yeah, take my phone.
Just hold on to that, kind of swing around on that crease.
Don't worry, after we make sure you're okay, we won't laugh.
That's a pretty good walk back to the four-wheel, ain't
It'll get your blood pumping.
it? He's down now, I can assure you.
Or whatever. I was right there when I saw him coming back and shot back toward the pond.
You remember when we jumped him and Jeremy and I had trying to scope him, he was hopping around? I've sat on the ground back in there several times. You know, there's always been scrapes and rubs back here, it's just hard to hunt.
Lesson of the day, if you're gonna shoot a deer, do a little bit better job than my first shot in this case. We had fun, it was really cool looking back on it, the idea that we were just basically stalk hunting this deer, because usually we still hunt, but it was a pretty fun experience. It was a good learning experience. So there you go. That's the longest track we've ever done so far, and hopefully we don't break that record. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like. Post a comment if you have a question or an idea or for something you'd like to see us do or a suggestion you'd like for us to consider. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Check out the website realhazardous.com. Like us on Facebook. Check us out on Instagram. In the meantime, I'll see y'all next time.